So it's been a while.
Oh,
We're live. Okay. So hopefully we've lost a little momentum. So hopefully the room will fill up fairly quickly with our legendary Real Black family. But once again, I'm Mike,
Charles Woods.
and hopefully somebody's going to join us soon and they can hear us. I'll just mop off. Ash, for those who don't know. So, it's a black show because there's Ash involved, right? So we're authentic, unlike some of the other people that are on the channel. We got 68 people in the room. How's that? 3 thumbs up. Can people hear us? Just one of those 68. Okay. Judah Whites, Jay Way, better buy Bitcoin. Welcome back, YC Dodd. So yeah, welcome. Thank you. We're back. We're black. And I'm in New York with Charles because I guess we have some news to announce. In On January 25th, we're premiering a new film documentary written by, hosted by, narrated by Charles Woods called
Savages, Servants, and Specialty Acts.
So we've been holed up in the Hyatt here in Yonkers for the past week, cranking that one out, chopping it up. I think you guys are going to be excited and proud, and it's definitely something that prior to the 25th never existed on Earth before, right? So
yeah, well, the thing that I've never witnessed before, is a lot of times we're talking on the phone regarding the many lessons we've done in the past, and this is in line with the many lessons that we presented on Reelblack, where the different analysis I've come up with after watching film for more than 50, 60 years. This is laying out the foundation of the imagery that has been popularized about us as savages, servants, slaves, and entertainers, and how all of this is foundational into how we're perceived today. The years I cover show the blatancy of these disturbing images. Today, the juxtaposition of what we see today as compared to the images I point out in the earlier years. In the earlier years is a blatancy and a very insensitive portrayal where they didn't care about how blacks felt about these images. Today, we get the same images, but they're more disguised. To use just a recent viewer to some of the stuff we post on Reelblack, that it ain't nothing changed, as Paul Mooney said, but the time on the calendar, the date on the calendar, and the time on the clock.
yeah, so it's great. I mean, Charles has an extensive library, and we'll update you on the channel. Thanks everybody who's joining in. But we just spent the whole week just mining through archival footage, and in addition to the images, where you'll see a timeline where people, I think people always use these sort of words all the time: white supremacy, mental enslavement, brainwashing, and everybody sort of has their notion of it. But I think what's going to be exciting about this film is using these archival materials in addition to interviews that we've captured over the years on the channel. We're going to lay out exactly the process of which your mental enslavement occurs. From capture, taking away your religion, your culture, and all those things, to this reintroducing this belief system that always kind of keeps us at odds with one another. So, I'm really excited about it. So that's going to be, if you're in Denton, Texas, or I guess Dallas, Texas, on the 25th of January, I'll be there premiering the film, and Charles will be Skyping in for the Q&A. So mark your calendars for that. Also, I promised to mention the new Array film. It's called Jezebel by our good friend Numa Perrier, and it premieres on Netflix on Thursday, the 16th, I think it is, Thursday 16th. But if you're in New York, Numa's going to be here tonight at the Roxy Theater in Manhattan, and then tomorrow in Brooklyn to screen the film. So if you go to the Array Now Twitter, Array Now Instagram page, you'll be able to keep up on that. So,
and congratulations, Numa, and good luck with your project.
yeah, it's a big thing. Just to see the full circle of folks that are, sort of what Array Now or Array has done. Ava DuVernay's distribution company, from being something 10 years ago, a vehicle to self-release independent films that were left on the wayside. Now, I think they're 25 movies in, and Ava has her own theater in Los Angeles and is talking about bringing more opportunities to experience film history in the physical space. And I guess we've kind of transitioned over to the YouTube space, the streaming space, and trying to make as much of this kind of content available, things that you wouldn't see ordinarily, available to the world via this YouTube platform. We're going to catch up with some of these chats for sure. But
I just want to say, it's a time-worn adage, necessity is the mother of invention. So to fulfill the needs that we come up with, we have to be inventive. And in our inventiveness, one of the things we point out in the documentary we're working on, it's up to us to create a Black aesthetic. And we have to define what that means. And once we name it, then claim it. And I think signs are there. You look at Tyler Perry, he's got a studio. Mike just mentioned Ava DuVernay has her own theater. It's reminiscent of back in the days before integration, when we were largely dependent on ourselves to create things for us. And I think the best thing that's going to move the message forward is that when we rely more on ourselves and do things more in a segregationist way, a Afrocentric way, and what people are missing in the art form, I think if we work collectively together around this new dynamic of what the definition of the aesthetic is or can be, then we'll get the kind of cinema we really want that will be liberating.
And that's, I guess we were off for about 6 days, and just to explain, for those who weren't privy to the information that was on Twitter and Instagram, and I encourage everybody to follow at Reelblack on Instagram and Twitter in case we have these outages again. It happened, we were off earlier last year when we hit around 300,000 subscribers. Suddenly we started getting these copyright notifications for videos that have been up for a long period of time and on other channels, but somehow, sort of like when you decide to run down the expressway in a red car, suddenly when we hit 300,000, it's like we upgraded to a red car. So, people in the dialogues and sharing, they said, well, wait, you're going too fast. So we got shut down for about a week until we got those, maybe 10 days before we got those strikes cleared up. And then this time it was about 6 days, around the time we hit 425,000 subscribers. And the goal always is, I want to get to 1 million, frankly, because that's when you get the next plaque. And I think every day when we see the comments, we got Hodoro. Gosh, are you in China someplace? Hodoro in Japan? Anthony and Black Fist with a 1 in it. I feel like the goal right now, we changed our mission statement in the intervening time to empower, enlighten, entertain, and elevate through Black film. So we've gone to that next level of intention. And, we're, frankly, I don't think we're doing anything different than 90% of what YouTube is in terms of sharing content. It's just, it's curated. So there's some power behind that. And, a lot of people see us as a clearinghouse for information that they're not going to find elsewhere. But frankly, a lot of the stuff we're getting strikes on is videos that people have had up for years, but suddenly there's attention drawn. So
it's like the Mac. You know,
I
you're
know
getting
you
too big, Goldie. You know,
Yeah.
little drug dealers, they don't mess with the big drug dealers. You're getting too big, Goldie. But
So
the thing is, a lot of times when Mike decides to post something, it's because we think it's public domain. There shouldn't be any issues, or if
we
someone,
do a lot of due diligence
Yeah,
before we make a choice. Like people are always saying, "Why don't you put up Shaft? Why don't you put up the Mac?" It's like, no, go pay to see that. This is stuff, Charles. Your benefit. Our belief is that we want people to get entertained, enlightened, empowered, and elevated through this content that you're not going to find anywhere else, and that the way to do that is just sharing the information as opposed to withholding it in a sense.
my firm belief is this. A lot of times in our collaborative moments, Mike will say, well, people won't recognize that. They don't know it. And so he'll back into it from uh, the more present day stuff and then juxtapose the older stuff that I'm more familiar with. But I always look at it this way. If you're going to show what the system is all about, it's important that we show their BS, their racist BS, because what they've put on film is not a projection of us. It's really a projection of them. And I'm speaking about the white power structure, the
Well,
racist white
don't
power.
give too much movie away.
No, but I'm just saying in terms of it's it's really exciting to see that a lot of viewers love the old stuff. It kicks back their memory systems or the times they saw things with their parents
It
or
triggers-
heard about it.
it triggers a collective consciousness through looking through the lens of the past. But everybody, if you show like, we put it's a clickbait. The clip you sent me that movie 2 years ago, and I said, oh,
Bad Boy we're talking about with Spencer Williams.
and I said, well, let's put this up as the only black man who doesn't like chicken, and just I think the comments to me, what memories or thoughts it evokes just by seeing an image is exciting to me. So regardless of what the consequences of putting stuff up are in terms of we want to avoid these shutdowns, but it seems the more we grow and every day people are learning, that's more important to me, and we're doing our best to protect ourselves. So I think from now on, we have to be incredibly transparent in terms of our intention, but also control the perception. So I think we want to do more things like this, so people don't have this concept that if the door they came in happened to be, oh, I saw this movie that 200,000 other people saw, that Reelblack is a place to find movies. No, was it education, enlighten, empower, elevate, entertain. Those are E's that we're interested in. We ain't got the hookup, but we do want people, not to lighten up, but to tighten up.
Oh yes, Brother Khalid said I came to tighten up, not to lighten up. I came to pin the tail on the honky, not the donkey.
So that's the deal we're making with you, that we're going to continue to share. Make it convenient to you to have this information. This man has spent a lifetime compiling and use my natural born charisma to challenge this white power system so we can get some real money and not be dependent on this one revenue stream. So we're going to have product. If people are asking how to support and Patreon, we don't really want to do that. But what we do want is for people to pledge to purchase Charles's book when it comes out and purchase it. This will be a DVD and a book together. But by the end of the year, can we hold you to that one?
Oh, sooner than that.
Okay.
But the thing is, like the painstaking you take with editing and trying to get it right.
Mm-hmm.
As I told you, I want when what I write is factually based, my analysis is cogent, and it's backed up by other empirical evidence, other analysis. But the thing is, I read a great deal to bring to my analysis. I read other people's perspectives, and I'm trying to get it right. And they say skill takes time.
Yeah, and again, benefiting what's great about YouTube, and certainly it's helped your research as well, is this collective idea. So it's you know the what we're gonna go through the comments. I will say what bothers me the most when I read comments that feel entitled, like somehow all this stuff is do you, and people aren't necessarily understanding this is a process that takes time. So the other thing, in the during the layoff, I decided, I'm not on the radio anymore. I don't need to generate attention or buzz. And so much of this stuff, I mean, while we were off, there was a whole back and forth between the ADOS and the Tariq Nasheed and the Claude Anderson camp and everything. And I said, that just builds into the divide and conquer. And I just want to, until we have it, like you said, right, empirically right, I don't want to jump the gun. And I mean, we could easily sit here and do reviews of every movie that's come out in the last week or month. And I don't know if that's good. I mean, I have my criticisms about everything. So I don't know if it benefits to air them without really an
we
analysis.
may all have this, but we don't all see things the same way.
Right.
We took a big hit from the things we said in our critique of Harriet, let's say, for example. But as I said, I'm not putting down anyone with the ADOS people. I just say, if I'm going to review a film, let me review the film. And then the other things that are attendant to it, the surrounding issues, then that's another criticism. That's something else. But how is the film made? What did the director do? But
right.
It's all it's spectatorship. But the thing is, I'm not ever going to say you're wrong in your perspective, and then result with a lot of ad hominem attacks on you for how you see things. The one thing I've always demanded is that if I'm going to respect your perspective, please respect mine. I'm not out here to attack anyone, call them stupid or whatever. I agree to disagree. We can disagree, but we don't have to be disagreeable. Respect. That's the only thing I demand.
Right. But I mean, in terms of breaking down movies, I think, yeah, like you said, there's certain people, there's certain things that trigger are designed to trigger, and there's certain things that I think our level of criticism, what we're looking at right now, is the overall nature of Black representation in Hollywood film. So it's starting to be, my criticism is starting to feel redundant, and to me, it's very easy to be critical without having all the information. So, I mean, like you're going to see, tomorrow I'm going to be interviewing Joseph Sikora from Power, who plays Tommy on Power. You're going to see more things like that, where we're talking to the actual people who are responsible for this, as opposed to the back and forth that has a very small shelf life.
Well, that's interesting right there. If I say I love Power, and Forrest Whitaker's Godfather of Hong Kong takes me back,
Yeah.
Godfather of Harlem, some people could say, well, how can he like those films? Because those shows, because all they're doing is promoting Black on Black crime, drugs, violence, and things like that.
Right.
But if you watch the show, you know that it's on with that particular theme for a reason, because that's what a lot of viewers will tune into. But I think if you know anything about Courtney Kemp, who's the creator of the show, and you see her arcs and what she's putting into the program, you see that it's things we grappled with back in the 30s when James Cagney was and Humphrey Bogart were criminals. We had a code that says, yeah, they can be glamorized for a certain portion of time, but they have to have their justifiable comeuppance. And the same thing happens with these shows.
Right. Okay. So let's go. If anybody has questions, now's the time to ask and go through. J-Way is really pushing this Bitcoin. I say black coin. I'm not investing in somebody's bit. I want black coins. And when that happens, I'll be happy to invest. Richard Copeland is watching from London. What is that? About 8 hours difference or 12 hours difference?
Maybe close to 12.
So no, it can't be 1 a.m. So,
I love our London viewers. They've been very supportive of the channel.
yeah. Well, that's the thing. We have reached a global audience. There was somebody wanted closed captioning. Unfortunately, that's not possible for what we're doing at this point.
And let me just say, down the road, I will give some attention to blacks in English-made films.
Yes, and this guy's still living, 100 years old.
Yeah, he's called the Black Sidney Poitier.
What's his name again?
It's not Harry Beard.
Okay, we'll figure it
Yeah.
out. Doran Cyprian Tap. Y'all got some smooth game with the uploads. Well, we try to be subversive and fun with it. I think the key is to keep people off guard. Like we're not promoting one flavor of blackness at all time, but enlighten, educate, empower, elevate. Those. So we can't just push one flavor down people's throats. I feel black people more than just entertainers. J-Way's pushing this transfer. I'm gonna ignore J-Way. We love you, J-Way, but it's just too much. I'm gonna scroll down to the end and see if there's any questions here.
But thank you for your energy, J-Way, and tuning in.
Yes, sir. Black Fist, New Jersey, fam. Yeah, I'll be in Jersey later, driving through there. Bad Boys for Life screening. People in Philly, I'll be at the Bad Boys for Life screening. Reelblack members on Tuesday.
I'm planning to take my wife to see it. I hope it's good.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. And for the Tiffany Haddish, I did not see. There's a lot of good movies. Clemency is out. It's a great performance.
I liked Just Mercy.
Just Mercy. So. Again, we're not reviewing movies.
Man.
I think you could wait on Just Mercy.
I liked it.
Okay.
I liked it.
Liked it at that shit. So those are recommendations. But so much. Dolomite is my name. It's still my favorite of the last 3 months or so. And you can watch that at home. And I love Eddie Murphy's YouTube. Any interview he did on YouTube was great for me. Thank you for the love, Lawrence James. Thank you, brothers. I really appreciate you gentlemen implementing our cultural content to YouTube. We will make this the Million Man March. Channel size, well, if the powers that be allow, I'm only putting up 1 video a day right now because we're still fighting these 2 strikes from OWN Network, which is a story in and of itself. We just have to get them to answer the emails, and then we'll be down to 0, and then I'll feel more confident about posting more frequently. But I feel like the attention is what gets us in trouble, and I'd rather the conversation maintain itself than to push for more right now, because we got bigger fish to fry, me and Charles. Let's see. Honor, respect, and hard work, due diligence, and information you share with the people. You've enlightened me on many occasions. I appreciate you, family. That's from Black Fist. New subscriber wins beyond. Detroit Red. Reelblack is my main source for entertainment. See, that's love. I feel good. I feel like in the past year we've really grown.
Can I say something right quick?
Let's go for
it. Person say you enlighten me. We use the word enlighten, and a lot of people forget. And we discussed this in putting this documentary together. Not only are blacks painted in a negative way, pictorially in film, the visual is there, but the language, and when we say blackboard, blacklisted, black sheep of the family, there are some synonyms that also help keep that inferiorization of blacks going. And for example, I remember an educator said, I don't use the term fair skin if someone's fair skinned, because what's the opposite of that? Not fair. And enlightenment, means you're getting knowledge. And that reminds me of how they always describe Africa as the dark continent. And one of the reasons why it was considered dark, of course, there was a fear to explore it, but also the fact that it was supposed to be, in terms of culture, in the dark ages.
Gotcha. Well, there's a couple of things here. So, Waverly Timberlake remembers Charles from the 43rd Chamber. So I don't know if you remember Waverly.
Hold it. Is that Waverly?
Waverly Timberlake.
My apologies, Waverly. And going through different things, I lost your number, but I think I've gotten a hold of it. If this is my Metro man, and from back in the day, I heard you were ill. I kept asking about you. Love you, man, and I'll reach out to you soon.
Yeah, or DM me on Instagram. Charles, you're on Instagram as well.
Yeah.
Claudine, see, that's the thing. Claudine is not on YouTube because it's protected by 20th Century Fox. And there's a lot of movies. Again, it's very normal if we put a video up from 1974. It's going to open up that cord on your brain. How come I can't find the Mac? Why I would love for Reelblack to put up, I don't know what other movies from Foxy Brown and things like that. But the fact of the matter is, we're not going to knowingly put things up that are commercially available. That's the barrier that I've set. Not to say that there are things.
I would love to have that format. We've discussed this where we're putting up film. We're discussing the actors' background who appear in it, what the production was like, what the context of the time was like, sort of like what they do on TCM. So we would kind of be like TCM on YouTube.
Yeah. Well,
TCM for us would be the colored man.
Well, if they figure out a way where, basically I'd say 75% of the movies we put up that we did not create ourselves, there are rights holders, either people that control the music rights or the actual film, they're allowing us. And that's where we got into trouble with the Oprah situation. We put one video up and it was monetized by OWN Network. So in my mind, I said, oh, okay, well, as long as they're getting the money, let's share more of Oprah's content, because our intention is not to make money off of anything that we didn't create ourselves. So as a result, end up having 9 things, old Oprah shows up, and I wake up one morning and we're getting strikes from Harpo, so, which is another arm. It's like the other arm of Oprah, and they are pulling them down and giving us strikes. And the rule is if you have a YouTube channel, you get 3 strikes concurrently within the period of 3 months, and you don't get them cleared up, your channel is terminated. They suspend you. So we were fighting. I was making calls all week, and it was right up against the holidays. So I managed to get the other strikes off completely, but we're still sitting on 2 from Harpo, and I got to deal with that tomorrow. Call California and see if they can get us down to 0. But in terms of our intention is not to put up every black movie you can think of. It's to build a conversation around enlightenment, empowerment. Give me some more ease, Charles.
Some more
ease, expectation. Don't expect. We could do a Be Kind Rewind, though. If you want Charles and I to act out your favorite black movie that's protected, we could pretend to be Claudine, and I'll be Claudine. I'll let you be James Earl Jones if you want.
Remember in Claudine, you're still going to end up with chicken.
So we're working on it, but I think we're trying to build this conversation towards empowerment and understanding the system that we're all born into, and giving people the sense that you could do it too. You from whatever stance you're at, you can be making inroads, understanding how media is now controlled by us.
Someone brought up Claudine, or you did?
Well, somebody wanted to know why we don't have Claudine on the
But here's
channel.
a bit of trivia for the who was supposed to play the part James Earl Jones did.
James Earl Jones. Well, originally Claudine was supposed to be
Diana Sands.
But who was going to play opposite? Bernie, you said?
Yeah, who was supposed to play the role James Earl Jones played, and he cried, he pitched a bitch when he lost the role.
I think I know who you're going to say, but go ahead.
You know the answer?
I was going to say Bernie Hamilton.
Very good.
Okay, I know these things.
And Bernie Hamilton is from
Starsky and Hutch. He was a sergeant. He was the original angry black sergeant before Eddie Murphy had like a litany of them in
Captain.
48 Hours and was it 48 Hours and Beverly Hills Cop?
Captain, not sergeant.
Captain.
The large in charge, HNIC.
What are you gonna do? Tear up the whole town there?
And he's Chico Hamilton's. It was Chico Hamilton's brother. Yeah.
Chico, who I met, did an interview on the channel. All right, so let's get through some of these. We're at a 30-minute mark. We should jump off here. Yeah, we're just operating within the gray area that YouTube is opening up for us to share, and I think the sharing is our biggest success. Any good things that come out of this?
As Clyde Fraser says, sharing is caring.
So it's collective consciousness. Somebody gave a shout out to this hat. I love this hat, but I wanted Daffy, because Daffy to me is a black character. He's the only black Looney Tune. Well, and for whatever reason, they did not have a Daffy hat, so I had to go with Sylvester.
I think very few people know. Our audience is very smart, but
yes.
Animation, the cartoons, a lot of that has roots in minstrelsy.
Mm-hmm. Bucktown, that's another one. That's Orion, American International Orion.
Well, I told you who I wanted to interview from Bucktown. The little boy who played in Cornbread Earl and Me. He became he was Cuba Gooding's stuntman for a good while, and he became a producer. I think he was one of the producers on the Beyonce film with Cuba Gooding.
Yeah, what his name is?
Boy,
it's a senior moment.
Yeah.
Why did? Okay, I'm not gonna answer for you. Well, so in closing, thank you all for your support. January 25th is the premiere of Savages, Servants, and Specialty Acts at the Denton Black Film Festival. That'll be the work in progress screening, and by the end of the year, we'll have a DVD available as well as Charles's companion book available for you to support the channel with or support Charles's knowledge with. We're more than happy, and we appreciate the love that everybody's given us. One of the things when the downtime before, we recognized how vital we were in terms of very few, there's no other place like this on YouTube, and made us be more persistent about maintaining it and setting goals in that direction. And then the absence we had here and how quickly the love is returned, it just gives us more confidence to keep growing on our end and keep sharing what we know and allow others to benefit from our experiences and knowledge, and hopefully that, you know, your support numerically in terms of numbers will help other people create opportunities for us to make more people aware, you know what I mean? So I always believe that there's one person out there that's watching that's going to make a difference. And it feels good to see, you know, just the comments here in the chat that we've helped make a difference to so many other people.
As I've always said, and I know you always said, don't keep saying as you've always said, but the thing is, it's a two-way street. Each one teach one. It's not just what you think or I think, my analysis, your analysis. We have some smart viewers, and I mean, I look at the comments when I'm up to it, and I just learn a lot from the commentary. And also, if I'm behind the times, they're mentioning things, they're hashtagging different things, and so it keeps me abreast of what's going on.
So, all right. So in closing, somebody asked about the white girl. Tony Brown has his own website, and one of the things that got us shut down last time, we had a strike from Tony Brown, but he immediately took it back And you can subscribe to the Tony Brown channel. Unfortunately, he's not put his feature film, The White Girl, up on his channel for viewership. He doesn't sell the DVD or whatever. But he would be, we made an agreement not to put any more Black journals on the channel or any Tony Brown owned content. So the thing to do with that is subscribe to his channel, watch his content, and petition him to put his film, The White Girl, on his channel so that people can see it. It's a very interesting film. Time.
And I hope Tony's in good health. He's doing well, and bless him for all of the information he gave us.
Yeah, he understands the mission.
Yes.
I feel like we're an extension of it. And, all that stuff.
He was an FCC man.
All that stuff, the like it is, I think we try.
Gil Noble,
we try to extend in that spirit. So, and Yaphet Kotto, he's officially retired, but I think he still does
I want to talk to Yaphet. Yaphet, I think, is more receptive to talking now, but he was a giant in terms of Black representation. A lot of people don't know Yaphet was the big brother back in the day.
Yeah. Well, like Gil Noble, that was another strike that we caught, the Gil Noble estate. So there's no longer any Like It Is content on the channel. My understanding is that the estate is trying to get the rights to every one of his episodes back from ABC and the masters, and that eventually their goal is to have all that content available through universities. So I think we had like 10 Like It Is on the channel, and they're all gone for right now. You may find some on other YouTube platforms, but please do not ask us for that, because that was a stressful week in my life. But again, maybe I guess by the time we get to 1 million views, I would love I'll speak this into existence. I would love for YouTube to create the opportunity for individuals who own content the same leverage and latitude that corporations are allowed, where rather than if they see somebody posting their content and having success with it, give them the option of either taking it down without penalty to the channel, or allow the content to stay up but have the monetization go directly to that copyright holder. Because I think as we grow, there'll be more people, specifically other independent filmmakers and people, documentarians from the past, who may have some great work, but if they built their own channel or own platform, they would get fewer views. And I've had filmmakers reach out to me, friends, and also people just randomly through Instagram say, hey, I would love for you to host my film on your channel. And at this point, I've been turning a lot of it down because I said, there's no way for me to figure out how to properly compensate. So if YouTube, if you're listening, if there's a way for you to figure out a way to turn that attention to that content creator that made the content, that would be the best of both worlds for people like us, because then I could go back and I could find, I could call a lot of like Malcolm Lees of the world and say, hey, we'd love to put up Morningside Heights. Or I could talk to, Melvin Van Peebles and say, hey, I'd love to put up your early French, your short films you made before you went to France, and know that revenue is going directly to the filmmaker. So I think in due time that'll happen, and maybe we'll get to the point where we can even get Claudine and Coffee and Foxy Brown through this conversation as well.
Soul of Nigga Charlie and Legend of Nigga Charlie, double header.
Okay, well there you go. Yeah, we're laying off those until so don't look when they get it right, we'll get it better for you. But thank you. Any final thoughts there, Charles? Or?
No, it's just that YouTube, a lot of people love it as a source. It helps us do what we do. I think you were telling me that I'm Not Your Negro, pretty much they get everything from YouTube, or it was a way of viewing things on James Baldwin in a very expeditious way, and then they put together an award-winning documentary. But we love you, and we miss you, and we love your support. And just be careful out there. Peace and blessings.
The Iceman Gervin just checked in. He's always commenting. Thank you, Iceman Gervin. And you got another 43rd Chamber. Black Banter is saying hi as well.
Yes.
All right. Well, so thanks for hanging out with us again. January 25th, Charles's new movie.
Our collaborative effort.
Savages. Well, I'm gun for. Well, I would say gun for hire. I'm the Quincy Jones on this one. He's the Michael Jackson. We're trying to bring out his best falsetto and get the arm full of statues for you.
Another analysis of how I've seen film and the patterns. I see patterns. This is a pattern I've seen that was represented in film made the first 4 or 5 decades of motion picture.
And then until we get the Oprah thing worked out, only one new upload a day. And then also Joseph Sikora, Tommy from Power.
Excellent actor.
I'm interviewing him tomorrow. So if you have any questions for him, let me know. Either leave them really quickly on this chat or follow at on Instagram at Reelblack. All right. And all right. Boys are back. All right. Thank you all. Peace and blessings.